So what is up and what is good, ladies and gentlemen? It is your host with the most, Paul Cantu, reminding you that Earth is my planet. Earth is my planet. And today I am looking at purchasing some land. Now, this is 4 acres outside of Houston, Texas. It is in the floodplain, which isn't the best. I came out here actually a couple days ago, and I should have recorded that because my first impressions were amazing up in here, but I didn't even think about making a video. I was just literally exploring this tract of land. It has been raining pretty much all day yesterday, so I need to come back and see what the water situation is like, and I figured I would bring you guys along with me if I do end up pulling the trigger on this land. 4 acres, they're asking 100K. I got them down to 85K. We're going to see if I can really get a steal and a deal off, because this would be my playground for gardening, for building all types of cool garden related things, projects, experiments. So that's kind of why I want to make this actually happen, and why I kind of don't necessarily care if it is in a floodplain. It just depends on how bad it can get. So I want to check out the water situation right now. There are a bunch of golden retrievers going ham that I think are some like hunting dogs, some labs that are probably gonna be barking the entire video, hence why I'm shooting the intro in my truck. But let's get it. So there's the truck, there's the dogs, and here is entering the property. Now, this is what I really wanted to see, is how much water actually does flow in through here, because this definitely is a waterway that does traverse all the way down to a bayou that is, I'd imagine, like 7 or 8 acres away. So this does show there is some significant water flow. But as y'all can see, there is kind of a high slope going up this way. So I think this area could potentially get inundated with water. But going up, it does seem high and dry, and at about or higher than road level over there. So I really just want to get a general feel of the topography of the land. And there's all type of garbage up in here. Pretty sick. Now, what I really liked about this property is it is heavily wooded, which I think is very cool. A lot of land that has higher value is actually cleared, but I love having a ton of trees in a forest kind of situation already built in to the environment. Also, there are a ton of plants that feed the native species. We have a Ilex vomitoria, just covered with berries, Yopon holly. You actually can make teas with the caffeinated leaves. You just got to dry them and process them that way. Now, what I also find cool is that the majority of these trees are small. So I can probably go out and just selectively cut the ones that I don't want and leave the bigger ones that do have higher value. I think there might be some cypress. That's a giant live oak tree right here, which I would leave. And I think I can clear a good amount of canopy cover just by selectively removing a couple of the big trees or just some limbs, and then rocking out with what else is here. So, I mean, the good news is up here is high and dry after an entire day of rain. So that is solid. Oh my God, dude. There's just all types of stuff to explore. You do have sable minor palmettos. These are native palms. This specimen is probably a few years old, but there are some huge mature ones, which are really cool. So here's some more giant sable minor palmettos, and this just goes to show what a mature specimen does look like. This is that native Texas and kind of southeast United States tropical feel, hardy. These look amazing. In Florida, there are a ton of them. But yeah, this is a really great stand, and this is kind of more of a lowland, bottomland region. I do see all the water down there, so this could be a great rain garden. A damn mosquito is just trying to blood suck the side of my head. But yeah, this area, I can imagine during heavy storms would fill all the way up with water. But again, the topography does go up on this side right here, so that's kind of cool. And then you have a huge mature live oak right behind me, which is awesome as well. So this is on wide angle, so these are even smaller than they actually appear in person. But yeah, I love sable minor palmettos, and that's why I have a couple of small ones in the yard. But this is what they're gonna look like at full maturity. Gorgeous. So this definitely is a good flow of water, and I imagine during like a hurricane or storm event, this would just be rushing most likely all the way to the street. So that is something to keep in mind. And I think the water travels all the way to the bayou, as I previously mentioned. But yeah, this is a great area for a bog-like garden. But only 3 days ago, it was completely dry. It's wild. Now, there are also a ton of invasive plants. This dude is from China. So I'm going to remove all of those if I do pull a trigger on this land, cut it at the base, spray it with herbicide, let it soak that up, and then die. So I will definitely clear some space as well. But this is what I'm talking about. Look at this tree. This thing is absolutely gnarly looking. Oh my God. See, it's stuff like this that you just cannot get on a cleared lot, and that I probably just couldn't even get in my lifetime in terms of planting it and getting it this large. I mean, maybe, I don't know if that's a 50-year-old tree, but I'm gonna be damn near on my deathbed by the time I could plant something and it get that big. Now, there are a couple of unique tree species. Look at all the thorns on this guy, right? And it appears there was a thick tree right here that broke off. I do believe this used to be a citrus grove, and what led me to that conclusion is what's going on right here. Do you guys see all that citrus on the ground? Now, these aren't mandarins, they're not lemons, they're not limes. This is actually the root stock of the majority of citrus trees. These are all trifoliate oranges, which are barely edible, if edible. So I've seen some people eat these, and what's crazy is they're actually hairy. Like, their hair's all on the outside of this orange. It feels like a peach, which is nuts. But I could graft all onto this, which is cool. But y'all can see, hopefully y'all can see, that these thorns are nothing to be trifled with. Look how huge these thorns are. Like, this is an entire canopy of nothing but giant citrus thorns. God, dog, I wouldn't even want to trim this because these would penetrate my shoes easily. But this is a very odd species because it is a deciduous citrus, so it loses its leaves in the wintertime. But there's ample opportunity to graft onto this guy. I mean, look at these shafts. I can make a multi-trunked citrus tree right here, and the canopy does appear to open, and there are a bunch of these guys scattered throughout the landscape, probably because each one of these fruits is packed with like a bajillion seeds. Actually, you know what? I'll cut one open. This smells insane. I don't know if I want this all in my hands. Look at this. All right, so this dude is definitely stuffed with seeds. I kind of want to try it. Is that wild? I'm gonna put some in my mouth. It's probably past good. That's freaking disgusting. Ugh. Tastes like a really sour, bad grapefruit. Look at this big old daddy right here now. Look at this big old daddy. It's big old cypress, I think. It's big old cypress. Cool spider web as well. Oh yeah, my senses are tingling. But there are some spots with sitting water. I see them as the dwarf palmettos start growing larger. Yeah, there is a lot of sitting water, but I just have to kind of utilize those spaces to maybe throw in some ponds and other natural water catchment methods and systems. But yeah, this would be a mission to start cracking open some areas where I would begin to garden in, to say the least. But y'all can see, I mean, that sun is beaming through. It is beaming through. So I've probably been out here for like an hour, and I don't know how far back it goes. I mean, I know it's 4 acres, but there hasn't been a survey anytime recently, so that would need to get done. But as I just go farther and farther back, there are a ton of just wet spots everywhere. So I can only imagine after a very heavy rain, this area might all be inundated with water. So yeah, I would definitely need to have a survey done, and ideally in conditions like this, because I mean, there are some really amazing aspects such as the trees, but all this low-lyingness definitely can be can be a bit of a deterrent. Let me just put it that way, because what people always say is the number one rule of buying land is don't buy it in a floodplain. So that probably is decently sound advice. But with that being said, I mean, if this is a garden, hey, floodplains, most nutritious soils. Look at this branch is being consumed by fungi, and it's levitating on the branches of other trees. God, that looks amazing, y'all. Wow. Wow. What a real treat. Look at this. This looks like a big old booty. Or somebody who definitely needs to lay off the steroids. Hella venacious. So behind the property, there's this cleared section that I saw some big ass longhorns walking down, so that'll be a added little wildlife benefit. But yeah, it is fenced, not too bad, but getting back here was pretty insane. More of those Chinese tallow trees, man. I gotta get rid of them. So I'm done walking the property, man. Yeah, daddy. And I got lost. I'm going to be real, I got lost, man. I came up to a damn deer feeder, and then like a hunting road, and then I crossed 2 barbed wire fences, walked up to a place, then I realized I was going the complete wrong way, turned around, went over another barbed wire fence, and then I'm back here. But it's hard to tell where the land ends because nothing is marked. It's like the neighbors have fences, but then there's like multi-fences just, I don't know, meshed throughout the area. And I didn't cross one until I was like, oh shit, I'm lost in a mug. But yeah, we're going to see how things go. It's just very hard to see how far the land goes because there are no markers indicating where my like 4-ish acres ends and where the next person's begins, aside from one fence, which I probably crossed twice because I'm an idiot. But yeah, so there's that, but we're going to see how things go. I don't know. I might be back out here a third time. But it didn't seem like the land was too inundated right up to where I am by the road, which is very good. So I just got done editing the video and I realized that I never shot a conclusion to it, but the acreage that I was looking at is the cheapest within 30 minutes of my house, within an hour of downtown Houston. So help me make my decision as to what I should do. It is a bit more of an expanse than my current small urban backyard oasis, but it definitely has some really cool features, really cool plants, and if I do go through with the purchase, a lot to explore through it and a lot to do to it. But until next time, smash the like button, and always remember, Earth is my planet. Earth is my planet. Peace. Killing these songs, leaving a bloody life I roost to. And I'm in it to win it, so I'm somebody that you should get